What up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of you all who will, you know I appreciate it. All that information is in the description box below. Make sure you go to my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speaks, subscribe over there, and hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so you get notifications when I drop a new video. Now let's get into this topic. Finally, the pastor's wife was arrested. Yes. Let the church say amen. Let the church say amen. The pastor's wife was arrested and charged with 8 felony counts related to child sexual assault and human trafficking of a minor. Let the church say amen. Amen and amen again. For those of you all who don't know this story, I've been following this story for a while now with this Pastor Strickland and his wife, Jazz Monique Strickland. Now, both Pastor Strickland and his wife, Jazz Monique Strickland, had ties to a local alternative high school, Phoenix Alternative High School, and Pastor Strickland's wife was a paraprofessional at this high school. Pastor Strickland and his wife began recruiting these boys to engage in inappropriate activities with them in the basement at their home. And Pastor Strickland would sit somewhere off in a corner while these boys had inappropriate sexual activity with his wife. And in one particular incident, after his wife got done, the young man was sitting there on the couch and Pastor Strickland came over on the couch and started touching him inappropriately. And the boy pulled off and said, "Look, man, I ain't that way now. I know this is weird." These pastors, some of these people, see, this is why I say I don't care what scriptures y'all throw at me and all this kind of stuff. The news people just don't make this stuff up. Victims just don't make this stuff up. Yeah, we have some people who lie every now and then, but constantly, every day in the news, it's all of this mess that's coming on in religious institutions, and no one stands up for the victims, especially when the victims are young boys. They don't stand up for them. We're not going to let these people get away with this. Now, I'm going to let you all watch this video, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary, and you all know me. I'm Dawson, and I won't hold back.
Kalamazoo church pastor's wife charged with sex crimes makes her first appearance in a Kalamazoo County courtroom today. Jazz Monique Strickland is facing 8 felony charges. Court documents allege her husband, Strickland, paid teenage boys to engage in sexual activity with his wife.
While he watched, Andy. Now News Channel 3's Mike Kravesick joins us from Kalamazoo County Court to break down those charges for us. Mike.
Was arraigned on 8 felony charges here today. She was released on a personal recognizance bond because she was let go without having to post any bail. Now, if convicted, Jazz Monique faces a maximum of 20 years in prison. State police accused the former Kalamazoo Public Schools employee of engaging in sex acts with 3 teen boys while her husband watched. Jazz Monique Strickland faces multiple counts of child sexual abuse, criminal sexual conduct, and human trafficking of a minor. She worked as a paraprofessional at Phoenix Alternative High School from 2013 to 2018. Kalamazoo Public School records show Jazz Monique resigned the day before Michigan State Police raided the Strickland's home in Kalamazoo in September of 2018. In a statement, Kalamazoo Public Schools spokesperson says, quote, "When there's an allegation about an employee, we investigate it thoroughly, and when it's appropriate, involve law enforcement. Inappropriate conduct by our employees is not tolerated." Nearly 2.5 years after MSP launched its investigation into the couple, Strickland was charged with 11 felonies. He's out on bond right now. His trial set to start in April. Strickland served as pastor at Second Baptist Church in Kalamazoo for about 8 years. Prosecutors say the couple used their positions within the community to target teens. Following his wife's arrest, I called Strickland once around 3 o'clock this afternoon for comment. His voicemail was full.
"The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye."
Now, moments ago, I did hear back from Strickland via text. He told me, "We are looking forward to our day in court. We will prevail." As part of her bond condition, a judge did allow Jazz Monique to return to Mississippi, where she's been living with her husband, Strickland. She's due back in court next month.
All right. Now, when the word got around in Kalamazoo that the pastor and his wife were using their basement as a pedophile playground. Monique Strickland, first lady right there, got scared, and so did the pastor, and they started, doing damage control. As a matter of fact, what you all are looking at now is the resignation letter that Monique Strickland sent to Phoenix Alternative High School the day before they raided their home. The police actually raided their home. The pastor and his wife were strategic with picking out these boys at this alternative high school. Already at an alternative high school, you know that they're struggling with their grades. To bring up their grades. These boys had emotional and behavioral issues. Some of them come from impoverished backgrounds. And the pastor knew this. And so what did he start doing? Offering them money. Send me a photo. The pastor told these young boys to send him a photo of their erect penis, and he'd give most of them $50 for it. And then once he saw their penis, he even said, according to court documents and the victims, that depending on how big their penis was, he would allow them to have sex with his wife, and he would pay them for doing so. And not only did the pastor want these boys to have sexual intercourse with his wife, some of the victims, at least one of them, said that the pastor had offered him a car in exchange for him to perform oral sex on him. The pastor wanted to perform oral sex on this young boy. And also in the probable cause court document, one of the victims talked about how he had sex with the pastor's wife in the basement, and she left out of the basement. Then the pastor came out from around the corner, sat next to him, and the pastor grabbed his erect penis and started masturbating him. The victim pushed away. The pastor apologized and then gave him $100. And some of you highway to heaven people always talking about how these people, oh, he got a wife and he on the down low. Oh, she married to a man, but she was caught sleeping with a woman. How they get like this? Not all of them, but some of them were turned down in church. By leaders, by people in the gospel industry, by rabbis, by priests, by people in Jehovah's Witness and Scientology. That's what they were. They were turned out. But you all don't want to pay attention to that because it's easier to pick at people once you see the finished product. Oh, they living this way. They in that lifestyle. I ain't picking at nobody. No, everybody has a story. And a lot of these boys and girls were turned out in the church and by church people, and no one ever wants to talk about it. You want to hush them up. You want to give them a settlement. Don't talk about how the pastor used to preach on homosexuality. But, on Saturdays, he'd come by and pick you up and y'all be out somewhere in the field. Don't talk about how Sister Becky used to say this and lesbians going to hell. Don't talk about how the prophetess of all prophetess used to preach on lesbianism. But then she'd have you somewhere in a hotel down on her knees. Not tearing. She wasn't tearing on her knees. No, she went down there tearing. She was trying to get some of them alphabets, the LGBTQ. In her throat. Y'all don't want to talk about that. And I always get these silly, crazy comments whenever I do stories on this, and these teenage boys or girls happen to be around about 15, 16, or 17. People say, oh, well, they knew what they were doing. Oh, them boys wanted it. She didn't hurt them boys. He didn't hurt those boys. Or those girls wanted it. She was fast. Look how she was dressing. People actually say that. And what I want to say to you adults is this, and listen to me good. If you go ahead and do something with an underage kid because they 16 and 17 and they wanted to, the law is never coming for the kids. The law is always coming for you, the adult. Listen to me, ma'am. Listen to me, sir. You are the adult and you are the one that's going to be charged. Your face is going to be plastered all over television. They're going to blast you, never the child. It's sad, man. All of these grown people out here, some of them the grown men and grown women, and you bothering children? Some of these adults are ready to have sex at the drop of a dime. Some of these women, all you got to do is, take them to KFC, get them a 2-piece snack and say Happy Valentine's Day. And it's Wild Wild West up in the no-tail motel. And you going after the little girls? Yeah, I'm saying it. It's the truth. So I have no sympathy for you. I don't care who you are. And I don't think they need to go easy on her because she is a woman, because they tend to do that when it comes to cases like this. They'll give the men years and years in prison, but they'll let the woman off. No, if she does this now, she'll do it again. She needs to be held accountable. And I know some of you may feel sorry for her because she's a mother and she has kids, but I'm not, because this mother right here, Shannon Mosier, that's her husband right there, Pastor Bratt. She was a pastor's wife. She was charged and she is sentenced to 10 years in prison for sleeping with one of her students, as well as sending videos through Snapchat of her nude. And also there was a video sent to students of her having sex with her husband. She sent photos and stuff. North Dakota didn't go easy on Shannon. They gave her 10 years. And Shannon is also the mother of 3. I think she has 3 daughters, 3 or 4 daughters that her husband has to take care of now. Because his wife, the pastor's wife, it's disgusting, man. So y'all take care of yourself. Take care of the kids. Look out for the kids. And there are plenty grown people around here that y'all can have sex with. You can leave these damn children alone. Until next time, it's your guy Dawson. Take care of yourself and each other. Go off in the comments. Peace. Oh, and also another thing. I'm going to leave a link to an article in the description box below. In that article, you'll be able to find the PDF files to some of the court documents. You all do the research yourself. Read up on this case so you can become informed. Just don't trust me because I'm saying it. Read it yourself. All right? Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Peace.